Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft the Hard Way. I'm KirinDave, and with me is, not as always, but now perhaps newly as always, Lying.
Hello there. How is
Hello.
everybody?
I hope everybody's good. So, when last we left off, we had gone ahead and put down this new system, but I gotta tell you, without automating this somehow, my base entirely shuts down, my farm's back up, it's a mess.
So clearly we need to sort out some kind of feed system.
We need to sort out some sort of feed system, and I think some sort of passive power generation is also required. I'm excited to try something. I spent a bunch of time putting something together. Let me show you what this is. This is a rare object.
Rare?
Yes, a node modifier.
Ah.
This is actually pretty difficult to make. I had to do a lot of work to make this. It needs 128 Aurum Essentia, which is not trivial to get. But I managed to find a wisp and start chain spawning it, and there's a little bit of Aurum on their drops, so I managed to get that working. So we can set this up and use this to modify a node, right? If we make a node bright and give it the correct aspects, well then it'll basically never run out of power. And if we can do that, then we can use that with the node dynamos to make at least one, dynamo or one or two dynamos that actually draw power forever. So I'm thinking that
half of the magic in this thing might be in actually making it stand upright.
Yeah, it is a little bit precarious. So that what we need to do is sort out, like, I would like for the ender generators, I think that they're good. They're like a booster, right?
Well, depending on how you use them, yes.
Yeah, like I would like to use the nodes as kind of a passive power system, like solar, right? And we'll see how many node dynamos one good bright node can handle. And then we'll, if it can handle more than one, that's great. If not, then we'll just keep making more and more of them. And then we'll set up the system so that if it ever detects excessive power draw, well, then we can start feeding in ender pearls.
Seems like a wise idea.
All right, well, why don't we do that then? So we may need to tunnel out the back here to make room for the node modifier and the node dynamos, but that's fine. Why don't we, do you have any idea how we could do the feed system for this as a temporary measure? I think that'd be fastest.
As a temporary measure, we need some form of round robin, which would be the most ideal.
Interesting.
My usual method for that has been to use a router from factorization.
A router from factorization?
You have.
We might have a little. This ME system works, so if you prefer to use this, you can. Yeah, I don't have any, unfortunately. So we're going to have to, yeah.
It is somewhat of a pain to find, I admit.
Yeah, it's one of the few things I don't have an infinite amount of, because I have none. What other...
None is generally the opposite of infinite, yes.
I suppose we could actually use thermal expansion item ducts to do that.
For round robin?
Yeah, they actually have a round robin mode on the output.
They do indeed.
Yeah,
it's rarely used, but it does exist.
And what we could do then is tie that to the hardened energy conduit's redstone signal, so that it knows... Right. Yeah, so that it basically, if it ever passes below a certain threshold, well, then we have the conduit come on and start round robining things.
And we can do that using good old-fashioned comparators.
Right. Well, you're the redstone expert. You want to focus on that, and I'll get the thermal expansion stuff made?
I can definitely throw it together.
Awesome. It's kind of tight in here, so you may want to move the generators. If you need a wrench, let me know.
Oh, I've got plenty. I raided a dungeon and ended up with 5 crescent hammers.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Let me just move this out of the way. I'm going to dig a little bit into the back here.
Yeah, you called me, like, whilst I was just eating breakfast in my well, so I actually have my onesie here.
Oh. Are you wearing a onesie?
Yes.
It's
comfortable.
With a helmet?
What kind of onesie doesn't have a head covering?
I mean, lots of onesies don't.
And it's not really a onesie.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay, well, you know what? I don't want to argue with you about the finer
game
points.
Is weak, Dave.
I don't want to argue about the finer points of a onesie. You can wear whatever you want. I'm fine with it. I'm not going to judge you for your strange attire. There's no judgment here. This is a no judgment zone.
It gives me passive hunger regen, so meh.
Oh, interesting. Well, if you ever want to sort out your armor in a more formal fashion, give passive hunger generation to your witch's hat, let me know, because we can make that happen straightforwardly.
I don't know if I want whatever my hat is feeding me.
Well, it would be pure enchantment, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I haven't died anyways, but, well, I suppose maybe I'm not the model template for this sort of thing, but, You may need to make some finer wires than we have, by the way. So,
Finer wires.
yeah, well, I mean, what we have is not great.
The delay of actually requesting items in this terminal is mildly infuriating.
I do apologize. What we're going to do, sir, is you have convinced me to completely migrate to ME. But that's going to require a mighty sum of Certus quartz, as I'm sure you've seen the crafting wall downstairs, right?
Oh, that can literally grow on trees.
I understand this, yes, but what I would actually like to do is that's Sue's province, and I do not infringe upon others' magic. Until she comes back, we're going to keep with the seeds that we have. I might replant different ones, but it's her job to manage the gardens. Surely you can understand that in any relationship, there's a give and a take.
I'm sure every relationship involves some compromise.
Yes.
For
So,
example, she's giving you anything to do.
it's true. I don't really understand her interest in me. But, you know, that's the way it is. Well, we're gonna go ahead and set up some basic stuff here, and set up some stuff, and we'll be right back, folks. Oh, whoa. I see you've already got started.
Yeah, it didn't take very long.
So, what's this?
Well, this is more or less a replica of my former well design, before it got slightly stuck between dimensions.
Okay.
So, coming off of your main energy cell here, we have one vanilla Minecraft comparator, which thankfully has compatibility.
Right.
And that is outputting a redstone signal based on the capacity level of the cell.
I see. And then we have, I guess this hopper must output a redstone signal? Yes, I see.
Yes.
So we have
the comparator
sticks.
coming off of the hopper is working as a kind of level marker.
Interesting.
So it's currently half full, so as long as the redstone signals match, that is to say, as long as this energy cell is more than half full, then the comparator attached to it can output a signal.
Or
At which point we then just invert it to make sure that it's actually below that.
isn't there an inverting setting on the comparator if you right-click it?
There is a subtract, but we don't need to use it.
Okay. Okay. I would normally use the subtract, but I guess that would prematurely... Well, it doesn't matter. I would subtract invert, but that's fine. I like this design. This is nice. So what we're going to do is get some more... I made some more Invar now that I have an Invar factory. I may need to show everybody how that works because it's interesting. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say, for your services today, I understand that you don't work for free. Soul of a Hunger Demon, sir. I don't believe you've eaten one of these. It is delicious.
So-
Let's go ahead and sup it. You now
I think
understand.
that Hunger Demon may have been based in France sometime within the last century.
It was a lovely year. It was a lovely vintage. There's no doubt.
Lovely year of France. I think that might be the French Revolution. Lovely.
Huh.
That's
Well.
actually a couple more years back, but who knows? You can keep souls alive for a long time.
Yeah, they definitely keep well. That's for sure. So all we have to do, I guess, is get one of these and then get it so that this system... Well, maybe we'll put a chest right here and then have it so that contains a bunch of ender pearls. So let's just get a chest. And maybe for the simplicity's sake, well, we don't need that. We just need to run a thing over here. And then we can remove the other ones. They're currently all that's powering the system, but once we have this online, then we'll be able to do that. And we should be able to test it.
They're currently the life support of this base.
Yes, and every time I leave, I come back and they're broken. So it's terrible. All right, so let's go ahead and put down this stylish chest. And then I'll have to... It's very stylish, I think. And then we'll put this on top
Probably
now.
a bit more than we need for this particular circumstance.
You know what? I prefer to make it out of obsidian. I use wood more often. So actually obsidian is the cheaper of the two things for me. I actually can generate obsidian pretty much at will. Can I borrow one of your wrenches, sir? Or maybe mine is...
one?
It doesn't matter. Never mind, I got it. No, you know, I'm going to keep that crescent wrench. I'm going to upgrade that sucker. I'm using
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll grab my own. I guess I see how it is. I give you a high quality thing. So if we just right click this, it goes to dense, vacuum, round robin. So exit pipes can go round robin.
Excellent.
Now,
And now he will visit each individual generator in turn so that we can ensure that every one of them is working.
yeah, and we could even split them up into banks and then have different signals. Like we could use the output strength of this for different signals. So why don't
We could, but
yeah.
it's not necessarily vital, I would say.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of power.
Yeah, I mean, they put out 80 arithmetic, so I think that right now we need at least 2 engines running to power the base. So we'll have to act accordingly. So I'm just going to quickly dig underneath here and run the item and power output. The power output line's fine, I guess, but I just need to run an item line underneath the base. So I'll be right back. All right, I think we have it piped and wired now. You want to do the honors and throw the lever?
Why, yes, I will gladly throw this conveniently placed lever.
Why are you standing? All right, so this should, in theory, toss stuff out, right? Yeah, it went out. But...
Opaque item ducts may have been a poor choice.
Okay, so it looks like we have 5 hours in one, 2 hours in another.
And 0 in the last 2.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit confusing for it. Hopefully, we'll get some more in here. Oh, look. We're getting more ender pearls as we go. Oh, and now this one has it. Yeah, look at that. So now what it's doing is it's just filling up each one in turn. It's like putting one stack.
Yeah, it's visiting them all individually, giving them a stack rather than a single item.
That's fine, though.
Router would do it.
That's fine.
So they're all starting at different points, but they are ending with the right time.
Yeah, I think that that's probably fine. We have so much ender generation. The only thing I'm concerned about is this is going to keep filling it up until we actually have so much power going. Right? Sorry about that. A little bit of an issue. We're back. All right. So the experiment worked, and we're just about to... These generators are on, so we're going to cut the power on these other ones. I see you're starting to actually fill this up here?
Yes, I am. I have an idea as to how we can work this system. And it involves being definitely a redstone node.
Oh, look at this. What is this?
This is a magical device known as a sticky piston.
I've seen the sticky piston before, you freaking patronizing jerk. What is this?
Essentially, we need to create a situation where we know that this signal over here is on because the power is low, but a signal coming from over here is also low, meaning that this piston needs to be extended because that will then allow the power from this line to pass to the item duct, creating it to actually round robin all the
this is fancy.
in.
This is fancy indeed. All right, so what you're saying is that when the power line is on, it'll pass through, and otherwise it won't.
When the power line is on and these generators aren't working.
Okay.
As soon as they all have something in them, then this will actually retract and it will cause the power to cut from the actual item.
Oh, interesting. That's fascinating. All right, well then let me go ahead and move these other things over here, over to that end, and you can go ahead and finish the wiring. So let me just, breaking a lot of power, that's fine. I've actually modified the plots we have so that we're generating, 30, 40 ender pearls an hour, which is more than all of these generators together can consume, so should be good, I think. Interesting.
One can hope.
One,
However,
two,
I am going to have to
three.
manually craft a few more comparators.
That's fine. All right,
No,
there
it's
we
fine,
go.
It's just they're not the most straightforward thing to craft.
I don't think I've taught my system how to craft them yet, sorry.
Well, fortunately, you've taught them how to craft basically everything else, so...
Yeah, that does make it a little bit easier.
I have to say, I don't think I'm being quite evil enough compared to what your viewers might have been expecting from certain pieces of Tumblr.
Well,
I'm not making fun of you enough, for example.
Oh, I see. Well, is that something that you really want to do? Are you, feeling like if you don't make fun of me, then you're unfulfilled?
Well, I'm pretty sure that the circle doesn't require me to make fun of you.
Well, I do appreciate the magnanimity of the Tumblr, the circle, and not listening to Tumblr. I wouldn't want them to listen because otherwise strange things would happen. In fact, why do we tell the circle about Tumblr anyways? Why would anyone do that? The witches of the circle are just leches. You understand that, right?
I'll have you know that the people of the circle are perfectly agreeable.
I didn't say that they weren't agreeable.
When
I
you have
was
a crossbow in your hands.
Yeah, that's true as well. How are you going to? You said you were going to escape death, yes?
Yes.
And you're going to do it in a different methodology than what I'm doing.
Well, your methodology appears to be having the strongest wall.
My methodology is being effectively immune to damage of a variety of sorts.
I consider that to be the easy way.
Well, I also back it up with the death poppets. There's some things you just can't mitigate. The multiple times that I have been nuked, I have learned this.
And the dev puppets work on
Yes,
nuking,
absolutely,
so...
absolutely.
But
Being hit by
your other magics don't?
Yes, indeed. So you've seen my
I wonder
collection
what
of
that
death
suggests.
puppets. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what it suggests either. It is interesting, isn't it? Huh. And then we're going to negate the signal coming out of this?
We're going to have to try and make sure that if any one of these is on, this piston is still extended.
We have enough room to go if you need a gap for a repeater.
A repeater should not be necessary, thankfully.
Yeah, I think if we added a few more, it would be, but... So how does this part work? You just going to lay redstone along the top?
One moment. Let me see. If any of one of these is on, then it means that power is inside of the generator and it's working, therefore we need to invert this signal.
You may want to get an inverter for that. Your space is kind of tight.
Does your system know how to craft inverters?
No, but I can make it really fast.